Everyone, and welcome to Raina Mo's DIY and Designs. And today we're going to continue on that focus of the bridal party florals. We've already done the bride's bouquet and we've done the groom's boutonniere. Now we're going to be doing the mother's corsage. So if that's a video that interests you, please keep watching. What I'm going to use for this are doilies. And you're probably thinking, girl, what is she gonna be doing with these doilies? I'm not gonna use all these sizes of doilies. I'm only interested in the smallest one. And that's because it's from the Dollar Tree. They're really, really cute and they're functional. We're also gonna be using the popsicle sticks as a backing base because we're gonna use 3 to 4 flowers on the mother's corsage. So let's begin. So I have taken out the smallest doily that they have in that multi-pack. And when you first take it out, you pull out what you think is one doily, but it's actually 2 because the paper is very, very thin. And I just wanted to show you this. See, the paper is very, very thin, so you actually have multiple layers of the doily. But I like this particular thickness because this is too thin. It's beautifully textured, and I mean, I don't know if you can see the laser cuts in that, but isn't that gorgeous? It's absolutely gorgeous. Now, I'm gonna end up testing out if this is something that can be dyed, but if it can't be, that's okay. I would think that the paper might disintegrate, but maybe with a little bit of floral spray paint, because I know that they do have that out there. I don't have any of that. That you could change the color of this if you didn't want one that's on the side of white. This I would actually say is winter white, which will actually work with these flowers, so I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. Just like so. Okay, and I'm going to put a little bit, not very much, of hot glue on the inner portion so I don't mess up the design of the roses that have been laser etched out, and I'm just going to secure that like so. And I like that because it also still gives it movement. So if you wanted to separate, and you got to do it on the inside of the second one as well. So if you wanted to separate the layers and just kind of fluff things out, then you would be able to do that as well. But I'm not going to focus on that right now. The next step after you do that is make sure you get the back one as well and glue them to each other securely. And you only need a little bit of glue, so make sure you spread it out. And so now we have our base. Next thing I'm going to do is take the popsicle sticks, and I'm going to use 1.5 basically. I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half and use it as supports. And you'll notice I have scissors here as well as my nippers. You want to use these nippers because these are used to cut flowers, which some of them can have very, very stemmy bottoms. You don't want to ruin your art scissors, okay? These scissors I use for paper. These scissors I use for ribbon, wired ribbon. These scissors I do not use to cut my fabric. I have a separate set of scissors that I never bring out for fabric. You don't ever want to cut fabric with anything other than fabric shears that have not touched anything else, because you will ruin that blade. And then when you try to use it again on fabric, you will ruin that fabric. So I've just snipped those in half, and then I'm going to get another one, and I'm going to leave that one long, and I'll snip that one last. So basically all I'm going to do is build a little fan, and that's going to be for the support of the flowers that I actually put together on the corsage. So I'm just taking the popsicle sticks and I'm gonna fan them out, put a little dab of glue here on the popsicle stick and connect the popsicle stick. And I'm basically making a 3-finger fan, if you will. So see, this is how that looks. And then I'm going to do the other one just a little bit lower. So that's how it looks. And I know it's like, well, Raina, that's not even. That's okay, because your buds don't have to sit evenly, okay? So the next step would be cutting and adding our flowers after we've selected them. Selected the 4 flowers that I'm going to be using in this particular corsage. So to make it a little bit easier while I work with it, I'm going to go ahead and snip these off. But I'm snipping them a little bit longer than I snipped the boutonniere, because the boutonniere, they don't need all of that extra stem. Sometimes the mamas like a longer flower because they will be able to dismantle this corsage and put those flowers in water and actually be able to look at them for a week if you plan it right. Okay, so the next step that we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach our support to the back of the doily, but you want to make sure that this center stick is centered. Okay, so I'm just going to hot glue that there. Just like so. Okay. Remove any undesirable flowers that we don't like. This rose is absolutely gorgeous. I love this color. Love her, love her, love her. Sometimes you'll notice when you take off a few of the petals that are a little bit worn for the wear, that it alters the way that the flower actually looks and flows, so you end up having to take 1 or 2 more petals than you would like, which is what happened here. But this is still a beautiful open rose, and I think any mother would love to have that one. But see, I'll show you how I do it on this one. I just pull them off because the ones on the edges have a little bit of discoloration, and we don't want to be giving any of our mamas any roses with discoloration. And then I noticed that here you have one on the inside that's discolored. So what you would end up having to do, you could either trim that little portion off or you could take that petal out. But if you take that petal out, you see how uneven it's going to be? So that would cause you to actually have to remove more petals than what you initially wanted to. But it's okay because it's still a nice tight bulb, okay? So I just wanted to show you guys that. And we're just picking flower petals for the basket. Okay, next we assemble our corsage. I am going to use this beautiful light blushy pink rose as my centered piece that sits up higher and has priority in the bouquet. So she will sit here. Then I will take these roses and set them down on either side of her, like so. Then my carnation will sit here. Now I'm gonna lift up my doily because I want that to be seen just a little bit. And this is where I'm going to anchor everything with my tape. So just like you saw me do the boutonniere, this is going to be the same taping method with the corsage. And when I come back, I'll show you how it looks. So now that we are all beautifully taped together, we're going to go ahead and trim our bottoms. And get rid of any extra foliage. Now, you'll notice I didn't tape all the way to the ends, and the reason why I didn't do that is because I know that most mothers would love to keep their bouquets, their little corsages as long as they possibly can. So this way they could actually put it in a little bit of water and they can keep it longer than a groom would keep his boutonniere. So the next step, as you know, is to wrap the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with my ribbon, and then when I come back I'll show you how it looks. So we are actually going to use this winter white ribbon. We're going to embellish with a little bit of this ribbon that we used on the groom just to kind of tie things together. And then I'm probably going to add some pearls for Mama. So here we will begin. I'm just going to get a little bit of this ribbon and start applying it to our corsage. And I'm not putting hot glue on it just yet. I'm just going to wrap it around. And I find that if I just turn the corsage or boutonniere or bridal bouquet, that the ribbon actually twines itself down a little bit smoother and more evenly spaced, as long as you keep the same amount of tension. Okay, and so here is where I want to actually stop that, because this is where the ends of the roses are. So I'm just going to snip that, and then I'm going to secure it with hot glue. And when I come back, I'll show you how it looks once I've added all of the embellishments. Our budget corsage. I've added the satin white ribbon along with the same ribbon that we used in the boutonniere that's in the wedding colors, and I've added Mom some pearls because every mother loves pearls. Almost every mother loves pearls. Next thing I'm going to do is just fluff up the doilies, separate them and kind of fluff them up a little bit, give them a little bit more texture by doing some little pinch pleats to it. And opening them up a little bit to give it some texture. And just look how gorgeous it turned out. Don't forget, we need to add our push pins to the corsage. Place that down. And with the corsage, I would venture to say give 3 push pins. You're probably only going to use 2, but give 3 because it's better to have more than not have enough. Because some flowers will weigh, some corsages will weigh more than others. And I don't know if that has to do with how hydrated the flowers are or not, but look how gorgeous that is. I love it. I absolutely love it. So far, this is my absolute favorite one. So I'm just going to add the push pins in, and I'm just putting it through the ribbon. I'm not putting it through the flower because I don't want to cause any kind of damage to the flowers, because they need to hold on to their hydration for as long as they possibly can so that they can be nice and fresh for the event. So if this is a tutorial that you enjoyed and you learned something from, please give us a thumbs up, comment down below. You can share any thoughts and ideas that you have with me, and I read all of the comments and I respond to them. And you guys have some really good suggestions on how to do certain DIY crafts and improve on them, and I really appreciate those thoughts and ideas that you share. It helps our whole community, because that's what we have here on this channel. We have a whole community. Also, share this video with anyone who you think could enjoy and learn something from it. And as always, if you want to subscribe, please do so. We absolutely welcome you here on our channel. Have an absolutely wonderful evening. Bye!